Hello and welcome back to English Made Easy. We are so happy you're here with us today. Our mission on this channel is to help you do more than just study English. We want you to feel it, to use it, and to truly sound natural and confident when you speak.
That's right. And today we are diving deep into a hot topic that many people are interested in, but no one actually breaks it down and simplifies it. This is part of our big series on how to speak with an American accent. We're not talking about just memorizing a few words. We're going to break it down piece by piece, sound by sound. Think of us as your personal accent coaches for the next hour.
Exactly. A lot of learners worry about their accent. They feel shy or think people won't understand them. But we want to let you in on a little secret. You don't need a perfect accent. The goal is to be clear, to be understood, and to feel good about the way you sound.
And we'll give you real-life tips that you can start using today. No boring drills, we promise. We're going to make this fun, practical, and super helpful. So here's our promise to you. Stay with us, repeat after us, even whisper to yourself if you're shy, and you'll walk away speaking English with the smooth rhythm of an American speaker. Ready to start making some noise? Let's do it.
Okay, so when we say the American accent, what are we even talking about? The United States is a massive country, and there are so many different accents. Someone from Texas sounds very different from someone from Boston, who sounds different from someone from California.
That's such a good point. It's not one single thing. When most people around the world learn American English, they're usually learning something called General American. It's the kind of accent you often hear on national news channels or in many Hollywood movies. It's considered a neutral accent, without strong regional features. Think of it like a baseline. It's a fantastic starting point because it's widely understood everywhere in the US and beyond. It's the accent we'll be focusing on today. And honestly, the core features we're going to discuss are present in almost all American accents to some degree.
I remember when I first started trying to really listen to American English, I was so confused. I was learning British English in school, so I would say things like tomato and use a very crisp T sound in the word water. The first time I ordered a glass of water in the New York deli, the guy behind the counter just smiled and said, "You want water? Water." I was so embarrassed, but it was a light bulb moment.
Oh, I love that story because it shows the difference isn't about right or wrong, it's just different. British English has its own beautiful music, and so does Australian and Irish and every other accent. American English just has a different melody. Our goal today is to teach you the notes of that melody. And let's set our expectations right now. You do not need to sound perfectly native. In fact, trying too hard to be perfect can make you sound robotic and unnatural. The most important thing is to be clear and understood. Learning a few key principles of the American accent will help you do that. And as a wonderful side effect, you'll sound more natural.
Exactly. It's about being understood, not about being someone you're not. Your accent tells a story of who you are and where you come from, and that's a beautiful thing. We're just adding a new chapter to your story, a chapter where you can navigate conversations in American English with ease and flair. So let's start with the first and maybe the most important sound of all, the one sound that screams American English.
The number one most recognizable feature of most American accents is how we pronounce the letter R. In linguistics, and that's just a fancy word for the study of language, this is called rhoticity.
Whoa, big word alert, rhoticity. All that means is that in American English, we almost always pronounce the R sound wherever it's written. It's a hard, strong R. Think of a pirate sound, but maybe a little less dramatic. R.
Yeah, a friendly pirate. In many other accents like Standard British English, the R is often silent unless it's followed by a vowel. So they might say "car" for car or a "park" for park. But in America, that R is the star of the show. We say car and park. You can really hear it, right? Roar.
You really can. Let's break down how to make that sound because it can be tricky. Your tongue doesn't actually touch the top of your mouth. Try this. Start to say the letter L, Feel how the tip of your tongue touches the ridge right behind your top teeth. Now, for the sound, pull your tongue back. Pull it back and tense it up a bit. So the sides of your tongue are touching your back teeth, but the tip is floating in the middle of your mouth, pointing up.
It's like your tongue is making a little bowl shape inside your mouth. Let's try it. Make the sound with us. Rrr, rrr. You should feel a vibration in the back of your mouth, not the front. Let's put it in a word. Car. Let's say it the British way first for comparison. Car. Now the American way. Car. Hear that muscle?
Let's try a few more. This is where you need to repeat after us. Don't be shy. First, the word hard. Hard. Notice the R sound is strong at the end. Hard.
Good. Now the word more. More. Not ma, but more. Can you feel your tongue pulling back?
And what about in the middle of a word? This is where it's really important. Let's take the word party. Party. That R is right in the middle and it's strong. Party.
I have a great sentence for this. Let's try to say it together, nice and slow. The car is parked near the bar. Let's break it down. The car is parked near the bar. Now let's try to say it a bit more naturally. The car is parked near the bar.
See how that one sound, that strong rhotic R, instantly changes the flavor of the sentence. It's the seasoning of the American accent. Have you ever noticed this sound when you're listening to American speakers? Maybe in a song or a movie. It's everywhere once you start listening for it.
It really is. And it's not just at the end of words. Think about words with and yer. They all share a similar sound in American English. It's the sound, like in her, bird, turn. In all three, the vowel sound is completely taken over by that strong, muscular R.
Let's practice that. It's a very common sound. Repeat after me. Her first nurse. Her first nurse. Feel that? Er. It's all the same sound.
This is something that takes practice. Your mouth is learning a new kind of gymnastics, so be patient with yourself. Try recording yourself saying a word like car or party, and then listen back. Does it sound closer to ka or car? Just noticing is the first step.
I remember I had a friend from Spain who was learning English, and she had the hardest time with this. She would say things like, I am going to the party, and we would just gently say, oh, the party, and have her feel the vibration in her throat. It took weeks, but one day it just clicked for her, and she was so proud.
That's the feeling we want for you, that click. So let's do one more big practice sentence with lots of R's. Ready? Her brother works for a large corporation in Northern Virginia. Wow, that's a tough one.
It is. Let's do it piece by piece. Her brother works for a large corporation in Northern Virginia.
Just focus on that feeling of your tongue pulling back. Don't rush it. The goal is muscle memory. Your tongue needs to learn this new dance. And trust us, mastering this one sound will make a world of difference. It's probably the single biggest step you can take towards sounding more American.
Okay, so we've worked our R muscle. Now let's talk about its best friend, the American T. The T in American English is a bit of a chameleon. It changes its sound depending on where it is in a word.
A chameleon. I love that. It's so true. Sometimes it's a strong, crisp T, like at the beginning of the word top. You can feel that little puff of air if you put your hand in front of your mouth. Top. Try it.
top.
But, and this is a huge but, when the T comes between two vowel sounds, it often transforms. It becomes something we call a flap T, and it sounds much more like a soft, quick D.
Let's go back to Delhi's story. The word is water. The T is sandwiched between the A vowel sound and the E vowel sound. So instead of saying water with that hard puff of air, an American speaker's tongue quickly flaps against the roof of their mouth. Water, water. It's the exact same sound your tongue makes for the D in a word like ladder.
This is another game changer. It's a huge part of the smooth, connected rhythm of American speech. Let's try a few. Listen closely and repeat. The word is city. We don't say city Thai, we say city.
The word is better. We don't say bed-ter, we say better.
Have you noticed this? Think about the word little, little. Those two T's are right between vowels. So how does it sound? Little.
What about computer? Computer. Or beautiful. Beautiful.
It happens everywhere. And it's not just between vowels. It also happens when a T comes after an R and before a vowel, like in our word from before, party. We don't say party, we say party.
Or 30. 30. This is one of those things that once you hear it, you can't unhear it. It makes speech so much faster and smoother. Think about this sentence. Get a little bit of butter for the party. A textbook pronunciation might sound like get a little bit of butter for the party. It sounds very choppy, very robotic.
Now let's say it with flap T's. The T in get is at the end, so it's a bit different, but all the others transform. Get a little bit of butter for the party. It flows together like one long word. Get a little bit of butter for the party.
Okay, maybe that's a little too fast, but you get the idea. It's about connecting the words. The flap T is like the glue that holds them together. Let's practice the individual words again. Repeat after me, focusing on that soft D sound. Water, daughter, meeting. Notice that one? Even with an ing at the end, the T is between two vowels, so it becomes a flap. Meeting.
So when do you pronounce a hard T? You do it at the beginning of a word, like take, talk, time, and you do it when the T is part of a consonant cluster, like in the word stop. You don't say stop. And you do it when you are stressing the syllable. For example, in the word attack, the stress is on the second syllable, attack, so that T sound is very strong and clear, attack.
But what about a word like internet? This one is tricky and so common, internet. You might hear some people say the first T clearly, in-ter-net. But in casual, fast American speech, something else often happens. The T after an N often disappears completely.
Oh, this is a great tip for sounding really natural. So internet becomes internet. The word international becomes international. The word 20 often sounds like 20.
It's a shortcut. Our mouths are lazy. We look for the easiest, fastest way to get the sounds out. Dropping the T after an N is a classic American shortcut. Have you ever heard someone say, "I'm going to the interview"? They mean interview.
Let's put this all together in a scenario. Imagine you're at a party and someone asks you what you do. You want to say, I have an important meeting at the United Nations tomorrow. A very careful pronunciation would be, I have an important meeting at the United Nations tomorrow.
Now let's Americanize it. The T in important is after an N, so it might soften or disappear. Important. The T in meeting is a flap T. Meeting. The T in united is a flap T. United. The T in nations is a hard T because it starts the stressed syllable. Nations. So it sounds like, I have an important meeting at the United Nations tomorrow.
It's a subtle difference, but it makes you sound so much more relaxed and fluent. The key is to start listening for it. When you watch a movie tonight, pay special attention to every T sound you hear. Ask yourself, is it a hard T? Is it a flat T? Or did it disappear completely?
That's the best homework you can do. Active listening. Don't just let the words wash over you. Become a detective. Hunt for those flap T's. Hunt for those disappearing T's. Once you can hear them clearly, it's so much easier to start producing them yourself.
We've talked about consonants, the R and the T, which are like the skeleton of the accent. But the vowels are the heart. They give the accent its warmth and its character. And this is where things can get really tricky because there are so many of them.
So many. We can't possibly cover all of them, but we can focus on a few key ones that will make a huge difference. Let's start with a classic pair that confuses a lot of learners, the vowels in cat and cot.
The ah and the ah sounds. In many parts of the world, these two words might sound very similar, but in American English, they are worlds apart. Let's start with cat. Cat. This is the ash sound. Ah. To make this sound, your mouth needs to be very wide, like you're about to smile. And your tongue should be low and flat in the front of your mouth. Try it. Open your mouth wide. Ah. Ah.
It's a very bright forward sound. Let's practice some ah words. Repeat after us and really stretch your mouth wide. Cat, happy, black, man. I remember a student of mine kept saying, I saw a man walking down the street. And I was confused until I realized he meant man. The vowel makes all the difference.
It really does. Now let's look at the other word, cot. This is the ah sound. For this one, your jaw needs to drop down and your mouth should be open and round, not wide. Your tongue is low and pulled back a little. It's the sound a doctor asks you to make. Say ah, ah.
It's a much deeper, more open sound coming from the back of your throat. Let's try some ah words. Drop your jaw. Cot, hot, stop, job.
Okay, now for the real test. Let's save the two words back to back so you can really feel the difference in your mouth. First, get your mouth wide for ah, cat. Now drop your jaw for ah, cot. Let's do it again. Wide, cat. Round and open, cot.
Let's try a sentence. That black cat is not hot. That black cat is not hot. Can you feel your mouth changing shape from the wide ah in that, black, and cat to the open ah in not and hot? This is another one of those mouth gymnastics exercises.
Another key American vowel is the short ah sound, like in the word dog. Now, this one varies a bit across the US, but in general American, it's often pronounced with the same ah sound we just practiced for cot. Or sometimes it's a slightly different vowel, ah, like in the word cot. This is where it gets confusing for learners because in some parts of the US, the words cot and caught sound exactly the same.
This is called the cot-caught merger, and it's very common. For many Americans, there's no difference between the vowel in cot and caught. They both use that open ah sound. So, if you're ever confused about which one to use, using the ah sound for words like dog, coffee, office, thought, bought, will make you sound perfectly natural to most Americans.
Let's practice that. Let's assume they are the same sound for now. Drop your jaw and say, ah. I bought coffee at the office. It's a very open, relaxed sound. Americans tend to speak with a very open mouth, and this vowel is a perfect example of that.
I think a mistake many learners make is trying to make their vowels too small or neat. They might pronounce a word like job as Job, rounding their lips too much. But in American English, it's a big, open, relaxed job. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and let the sound come out.
That is such great advice. Let's talk about one more vowel pair that's crucial for sounding American, and it has to do with the letter I, specifically the difference between the sound in sit and seat.
The short I and the long E. This one can lead to some interesting misunderstandings. Let's start with seat. This is the long E sound. To make it, you need to smile. Your lips should be pulled wide and your tongue is high and forward in your mouth. E, like you're saying cheese for a photo.
Let's try some long E words. Smile, seat, meet, sleep, green. It's a tense sound. You can feel the muscles in your cheeks working.
Now for the other one, the short I in sit, sit. This is the short sound, and the key here is to relax everything. Your mouth should be neutral. Your lips are not smiling. Your tongue is still high, but it's more relaxed and a little further back. It's a very short, relaxed sound. I, I, I.
A good way to find this sound is to think of the word it, I, or is. It's a very quick, lazy sound. Let's practice some short I words. Relax your mouth. Sit, I. Live, I. Big, I. This, I.
Now, why is this so important? Well, if you mix them up, you might accidentally say a completely different word. A common one is the word for a female dog. You want to say bitch, short I, but if you use the long E sound, it comes out as beach. Very different meanings.
Yes, very different. Or think about the words ship and sheep. If you tell someone, look at that big sheep, but you pronounce it with a short I, they will be looking for a boat.
Let's practice them back to back. First, tense and smile. Seat. Now, relax your mouth. Sit. Tense. Leave. Relaxed. Live. Tense. Heat. Relaxed. Hit.
Let's try a sentence. This green ship is big. Feel the difference? The relaxed I sound in this ship is big, and the tense smiling E in green.
Vowels are all about the shape of your mouth and the position of your tongue. It takes time to build that muscle memory. A great way to practice is to look in a mirror. When you say cat, do you see your mouth get wide? When you say cot, do you see your jaw drop? When you say seat, do you see yourself smile? The mirror doesn't lie.
That's a fantastic tip. And remember, we're just scratching the surface here. There are so many other vowel sounds, but focusing on these key differences, the A versus the ah, and the I versus the E, will give you a huge boost in clarity and help you sound much more like a native speaker. It's about paying attention to the details, the small shifts in your mouth that make a big difference in sound.
So we have our building blocks, the strong R, the flap T, and some key vowels.
But knowing how to make the sounds is only half the battle. Now we need to talk about how to put them together. We need to talk about the music.
I love that you call it music, because that's exactly what it is. American English has a very distinct rhythm and melody. If you pronounce every single word with the same force and the same pitch, you'll sound flat, maybe even a little robotic. Think of it like a song. Some words are loud and some are soft. Some notes are high and some are low. This musical quality is called intonation and stress.
Let's break that down. Stress is just about which words or syllables you emphasize. The ones you say a little louder, a little longer, and often at a slightly higher pitch. In American English, we don't stress every word equally. We stress the most important words in the sentence. These are usually the words that carry the most meaning.
We call these content words. They are words like nouns, cat, table, party. Main verbs, go, eat, study. Adjectives, beautiful, big, red. And adverbs, quickly, always, very. They are the core of the message.
And the other words, the small grammatical words, are usually unstressed. We call them function words. These are words like articles, a, an, the. Prepositions, in, on, at. Pronouns, he, she, it. And conjunctions, and, but, so. We say them very quickly, and they are often reduced. They're the soft, quiet notes in the song.
Let's try another sentence. I need to go to the bank and the post office. The content words are need, go, bank, post office. The function words are I, to, the, and the.
So it becomes, I need to go to the bank and the post office. It sounds like, I need to go to the bank and the post office. That's the music. That's the rhythm.
Stress can also completely change the meaning of a sentence. This is where intonation, the rise and fall of your voice, comes in. Let's take the sentence, I didn't say he stole the money. It seems straightforward, right? But depending on which word I stress, I can create 7 different meanings.
Oh, this is a great example. Okay, you say the sentence, and I'll explain the meaning.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, someone else said it, but not me.
I didn't say he stole the money.
I am denying it. It's not true that I said it.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, I might have implied it or written it down, but I didn't say it out loud.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, I said someone else stole it, not him.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, I said he did something else with it. Maybe he borrowed it or lost it, but he didn't steal it.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, he stole some other money, not this specific money we're talking about.
I didn't say he stole the money.
Meaning, he stole something else, maybe the jewels or the car, but not the money.
Isn't that amazing? One sentence, 7 different meanings, all created by where you place the stress. This is not something you can learn from a grammar book. You have to learn it by listening.
This is why it's so important to listen to how people talk, not just what they say. Where does their voice go up? Where does it go down? Which words are they hitting hard? This is the emotional layer of the language. It's how we show excitement, sadness, sarcasm, and curiosity.
Let's talk about questions. In English, we have 2 main types of questions, and they have different intonation patterns, different melodies. First, there are yes-no questions. These are questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. For these questions, our voice usually goes up at the end.
For example, are you coming to the party? Voice goes up on party. Do you like ice cream? Voice goes up on cream. Is she your sister? Voice goes up on sister. That rising intonation is the signal that we are expecting a yes or no answer. Try it with us. Ask the question out loud. Are you hungry? Feel your pitch rise at the end.
The other type of question is a WH question. These are questions that start with words like who, what, where, when, why, or how. They require more information than a simple yes or no. For these questions, our voice usually goes down at the end.
For example, what is your name? Where do you live? Why did you do that? The falling intonation signals that we are seeking information. Let's practice one. What time is it? Your voice should fall at the end.
This might feel strange at first, especially if the intonation patterns in your native language are different, but it's a critical part of sounding natural in American English. If you use a rising intonation on a WH question, it can sound a bit uncertain or like you're double-checking information you already heard.
And let's not forget about statements. For a simple declarative statement, the intonation almost always falls at the end. My name is John. I live in New York. Today is a beautiful day. This falling tone gives a sense of finality and confidence.
So how do you practice this? You can try a technique called shadowing. Find a short clip of an American speaker, maybe from a TV show or a podcast. Listen to one sentence, then try to repeat it exactly as they said it. Don't just copy the words, try to copy the music, the ups and downs, the rhythm, the stress.
It feels silly at first. You might feel like you're doing a bad impression of someone, but that's okay. You're literally training your mouth and your vocal cords to produce new patterns. I used to do this with lines from my favorite movies. I rewind a scene over and over again, trying to match the actor's rhythm and intonation perfectly.
That's a brilliant way to practice. You're not just learning words, you're learning the emotion and the energy behind the words. Remember our metaphor. American English is like a song. The content words are the strong beats. The function words are the quick notes in between. And your intonation is the melody that makes it all beautiful. Start listening for the music, and soon you'll be able to sing along.
Okay, we've covered a lot of theory. We've talked about sounds, stress, and rhythm. Now let's put it all into practice. Let's see how this all comes to life in a real-world situation that many of you might find yourselves in. A party or a casual social gathering.
This is the perfect setting because it's where you'll hear the most natural, relaxed, and fast American English. People aren't using their formal textbook language. They're using slang, reductions, and all the features we've been talking about. So let's role-play a few common party interactions. We'll show you the textbook way and then the real, natural American way.
Scenario 1. Arriving and greeting. You've just walked into a party. You see the host, your friend Alex. A textbook might teach you to say, "Hello, Alex. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me."
It's grammatically perfect, but it sounds very formal, almost like you're at a business conference. It's a little stiff for a friendly gathering. So what would an American actually say? Let's try it. I'll be you and you be Alex.
Hey, so glad you could make it.
Alex! Hey, what's up? Thanks so much for having me. This place looks awesome.
Let's break that down. First, the greeting. Hey, what's up is a super common informal way to say hello. What's up just means how are you or what's new. The expected answer isn't a long story. It's usually just not much or hey or good, you.
Notice the phrase, thanks so much for having me. It's warmer and more personal than thank you for inviting me. And listen to the pronunciation, thanks so much. The stress is on thanks and much. And for having me is said quickly. Then, this place looks awesome. The stress is on place and awesome. The intonation is high and excited to show you're genuinely impressed.
Let's focus on one little part. What's up? In rapid speech, the T in what's often gets dropped and it links to up. It can sound like, what's up? What's up? It's a classic American slang greeting.
Let's practice that line again. Try to get the energy right. Repeat after me. Hey, what's up? Thanks so much for having me. Feel the rhythm? Da-dum-dum, da-da-da. It's got a bounce to it.
Scenario 2. Getting a drink and making small talk. Okay, so you've said hello to the host. Now you're feeling a bit thirsty. You see someone standing near the drinks table. A textbook approach might be, "Pardon me, could you please tell me where I might find a beverage?"
Okay, no one at a party talks like that. You would get some very strange looks. It's way too formal. Let's try a more natural version. I'm the person at the drinks table.
"Hey, how's it going? Sorry, is this where the drinks are?"
Yeah, totally. Help yourself. What are you looking for?
"Awesome, thanks. I'm just looking for some water."
Okay, let's analyze that. Hey, how's it going? Is another standard friendly greeting. It's like, how are you? Notice the linking. How's it sounds like how's it.
Then the question, "Sorry, is this where the drinks are?" Starting with sorry is a very polite, soft way to get someone's attention. And listen to the intonation on that question. It's a yes-no question, so the pitch goes up at the end. Is this where the drinks are?
The other person's response is, yeah, totally. Help yourself. Totally is a very common American slang word that just means yes, definitely, or of course. And help yourself is the standard phrase for inviting someone to take food or drink.
And your final line? "Awesome, thanks. I'm just looking for some water." Awesome is another super common positive word. And let's look at looking for some water. A learner might say, "looking for some water," with every word pronounced perfectly. But a native speaker would reduce it. "I'm just looking for some water. I'm just looking for some water."
Did you catch all the American sounds in there? The G in looking is dropped, for becomes fur, some becomes some, and of course, the flap T in water makes it sound like water. That one short sentence is packed with the features we've been learning.
Let's practice saying that line the natural way. "I'm just looking for some water." It feels a bit messy, but that messiness is what makes it sound authentic.
Scenario 3. Joining a conversation and sharing an opinion. This can be the scariest part of a party for a language learner. You see a group of people talking and laughing, and you want to join in, but you don't know how. A textbook won't help you here. There's no script for, "Excuse me, may I interject my opinion into your discourse?"
Definitely not. The key is to listen first. Find a natural opening. Let's say the group is talking about a new movie. You've seen it and you have an opinion. You can wait for a small pause and then jump in. I'll be someone in the group.
And I just thought the ending was so predictable. I saw it coming a mile away.
Oh yeah, what did you think? Honestly, I kind of disagree. I was actually totally surprised by the ending. I thought it was brilliant.
Perfect. Let's look at how you did that. You didn't just start with your opinion. You started with a question to confirm the topic. Oh, were you guys talking about starfall? The O at the beginning signals that you just overheard and are now tuning in. You guys is a very common gender-neutral way to refer to a group of people in America.
And then when I gave my opinion, I softened it. Instead of saying, "you're wrong," I said, "honestly, I kind of disagree." The word honestly makes it sound like I'm sharing a genuine thought. Kinda is a classic softener. It makes the disagreement less direct and more friendly. We use kinda and sort of all the time to soften our statements.
And listen to the stress and intonation. I was actually totally surprised by the ending. The stress is on the words that carry the emotion and the meaning. The pitch of your voice would go up on totally to show how surprised you were. This is how you show your personality and engage people.
Let's think about reductions. I was actually might sound like I was actually. And kinda is almost always reduced to kinda. Kinda. I kinda disagree. That is 100% natural American speech.
Let's practice that line. Honestly, I kinda disagree. Say it with us. Honestly, I kinda disagree. It's polite, but it's also confident. You're sharing your real opinion, and that's what makes a conversation interesting. Scenario 4. Telling a quick story and using slang. At parties, people tell stories. It's how we connect. Let's say someone asks you what you did last weekend. A textbook answer might be, last weekend I attended a musical concert. The performance was of a very high quality.
Again, accurate, but it lacks personality. It sounds like a written report. Let's try to tell the same story in a more casual American way. So, what'd you get up to last weekend?
Oh man, it was insane. I went to this concert downtown. The opening band was okay, I guess, but the headliner, they absolutely killed it. It was sick.
Awesome. Let's dissect that. First, my question. What'd you get up to last weekend? What'd you is a very common reduction of what did you. It sounds like would you. And get up to is a casual phrasal verb meaning do.
Now, my answer, I start with, oh man, an expression to show strong feeling. Then, it was insane. Insane here doesn't mean crazy. It's slang for amazing or very eventful.
Then you mentioned the two bands. The opening band was okay, I guess. The phrase I guess is used to show a little uncertainty or to soften an opinion. It makes it sound less harsh than just saying they were bad.
But then the contrast. But the headliner, they absolutely killed it. The phrase killed it is very common slang. It means they did an amazing job, a fantastic performance. And the word sick, in this context, it doesn't mean ill. It's more modern slang, especially among younger people, for excellent or cool.
This is the kind of language you'll almost never learn in the classroom, but you will hear it constantly at social gatherings. The key is to listen and notice the context. When you hear a word like sick or insane used to describe something positive, make a mental note.
The most important takeaway from all of these scenarios is that real American English is relaxed. It's efficient. We use shortcuts, slang, and a musical rhythm to communicate not just information, but also feeling and personality. So when you're practicing, don't just focus on being correct. Focus on being real. We've been talking a lot about what to do, but it's just as important to talk about what not to do. There are a few common traps that learners fall into when they're trying to develop an American accent, and avoiding these can sometimes be more helpful than learning a new rule.
I think the biggest mistake I see by far is over-pronouncing every single word. It comes from a good place. Learners want to be clear. They want to show that they know the words. So they pronounce every T, every D, and every single syllable with perfect, crisp articulation.
Let's define that word, articulation. It just means how clearly and distinctly you form your sounds. High articulation means every sound is sharp. And while that sounds like a good thing, in casual American speech, it can actually make you harder to understand.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it? But it's true. If you say, I am going to the store, pronouncing each word like a separate brick, it sounds unnatural. It breaks the flow and the rhythm we were talking about. We expect words to link together. We expect the function words to be reduced. When they aren't, our brains have to work a little harder to process it.
I had a friend who was a brilliant student of English. His grammar was perfect, his vocabulary was incredible, but when he spoke, he sounded a bit like a computer. He would say things like, "Would you like to get a cup of coffee?" And people would have to lean in and really focus. A native speaker would just slur it all together into, "Want to get a cup of coffee?"
So the first mistake to avoid is being too perfect. Don't be afraid to get a little messy. Don't be afraid to let words blend together. Embrace reductions like gonna for going to, wanna for want to, gotta for got to. They are not bad English. They are a fundamental part of spoken American English.
The second big mistake is ignoring stress and intonation. This is related to the first one. A learner might have perfect pronunciation of individual sounds, but if they put the stress on the wrong word or if their pitch is flat, the message can get lost or misunderstood.
I remember trying to give someone directions once. I said, the address is 13 Washington Street, but I accidentally put the stress on the first syllable of the number, 13. In American English, for the teen numbers, the stress is on teen, 13, 14. For the T numbers, the stress is on the first syllable, 30, 40. So the person I was talking to thought I said 30 Washington Street. A tiny change in stress sent them to a completely different place.
That's a perfect example. It's not about the sounds, it's about the music. If you say, I am content, stress on the second syllable, it means you are happy. If you say, I have content, stress on the first syllable, it means you have material or substance. The same letters, a completely different meaning, all because of stress.
So mistake number 2 to avoid is speaking like a list. Don't just say the words. Emphasize the important ones. Let your voice rise and fall. Even if your vowels aren't perfect, if your rhythm and stress are good, people will find you very easy to understand.
The third mistake is a bit more subtle. It's trying to copy a robotic or artificial source. This could be a language learning app that uses a computer-generated voice or an old-fashioned audio course with very slow, unnatural speech.
Yes, those programs are designed to be clear, but their definition of clear is often slow and over-articulated. So they actually teach you the exact habits we're trying to avoid. They teach you to pronounce the t in water and to say going to instead of gonna.
I once had a student who learned English primarily from an app. He came to the US and he was so confused. He said, "No one talks like the voice on my phone." And he was right. Real human speech is full of imperfections, shortcuts, and musicality that those programs just can't capture.
So the advice here is to learn from real, authentic sources. Listen to podcasts where people are having natural conversations. Watch interviews on YouTube. Binge watch a TV series without subtitles first, just to absorb the rhythm, and then watch it again with subtitles to catch the details. Your brain needs to get used to the sound of real, messy, beautiful human speech.
Let's do a quick role play to show what we mean. Let's take the phrase, I don't know what to do. I'll say it with the common mistakes and you correct me.
Sounds good. Go for it.
I do not know what to do.
Okay, I understood you, but it sounded very serious and robotic. The first thing is to use contractions. Do not almost always becomes don't. And then we need to add the rhythm. The important words are don't, know, and do. The other words are unstressed. And the phrase I don't know is so common, it gets squished together into I don't know. I don't know.
Ah, the classic dunno.
Exactly. So the whole sentence would flow like this. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. The what to becomes whata. The intonation would probably fall at the end. I don't know what to do. Down.
Let me try that again, the natural way. I don't know what to do.
Much better. See how much smoother and more relaxed that sounds? It's about letting go of the need to be perfect with every single sound and instead focusing on the overall flow and melody.
So, to recap the mistakes to avoid. 1. Don't overpronounce everything. Embrace linking and reductions. 2. Don't ignore stress and intonation. Focus on the music. And 3, don't learn from robots. Learn from real humans.
If you can keep those 3 things in mind, You'll avoid the biggest traps and be well on your way to developing a clear, confident, and natural American accent.
We've gone through the sounds, the rhythm, the practical scenarios, and the common mistakes. Now it's time to put every single piece together. We're going to do a longer role play, a full conversation at a party.
This time, we want you to really participate. We'll say a line and we'll leave a little pause for you to repeat it. Try to copy everything: the pronunciation, the linking, the stress, the intonation. Don't just whisper it, say it out loud. Let your mouth practice these new shapes and sounds.
In this scenario, I'm going to play a native speaker, and you are going to play an English learner who's trying to apply all these rules. You might make a few small errors and I'll gently correct you or model the natural way, just like a friendly conversation partner would.
I love it. I'm ready. And for everyone listening, your goal is to repeat my lines after the correction, the natural way. Let's do this. The scene is we're at a barbecue party in a friend's backyard.
Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Mark.
Hello, Mark. I am Anna. It is nice to meet you.
Okay, let's pause there. That was super clear, Anna, but a little formal. Let's make it more casual. Instead of hello, try hey or hi. And we'd usually contract I am to I'm. The phrase nice to meet you is perfect, but let's connect the sounds. Nice to can sound like nice to, nice to. So the whole thing would sound like, hey Mark, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you.
Okay, let's try that. Repeat after me. Hey, Mark, I'm Anna. Nice to meet ya. Hey, Mark, I'm Anna. Nice to meet ya.
Nice to meet you too, Anna. So, how do you know Sarah, the host?
We work together at the same office. We are both in the marketing department.
Good. Now let's smooth it out. We work together. The word together has a flap T, so it sounds like together. And at the links together at the. For the second sentence, instead of stressing every word, let's focus on the key information. Work, together, marketing department. It would sound like, we work together at the same office. We're both in the marketing department.
Okay, let's try that rhythm. Repeat the first part. We work together at the same office. And the second part. We're both in the marketing department. We work together at the same office. We're both in the marketing department.
Oh, cool. I've known Sarah for years. We went to college together. Anyway, can I get you something to drink? There's soda and some bottled water in that cooler.
Oh, thank you. I would like a water, please.
Perfect! You used the flap T in water there without me even saying anything. That was great. To sound even more natural, you could reduce I would to I'd. I'd like a water, please. Or even more casually, I'll just have a water. Thanks.
Oh, sure. I'll just have a water, thanks.
Here you go. So, what do you think of the party? It's a pretty good turnout, huh?
Yes, it is very good. I am having a good time. There are a lot of people here.
Awesome. Let's look at that phrase, a lot of people. This is one of the most common phrases in English, and it's almost always reduced and linked. Lot of becomes lotta. Lotta with a flap T. And the whole thing flows together. A lot of people. A lot of people. So you could say, yeah, I'm having a great time. There are a lot of people here.
This is a great one to practice. Say it with me. A lotta. Again, a lotta. Now the whole phrase. A lot of people. Yeah, I'm having a great time. There are a lot of people here.
Totally. Hey, they're starting up the grill. I'm getting kind of hungry. Do you want to go grab a burger or something?
Oh, that sounds good, but I do not eat meat. Are there any other options?
Great question. And great job with the intonation on, are there any other options? It went up at the end, which is perfect for a yes-no question. To make the first part a little more fluid, remember our rule, do not becomes don't. And I don't eat meat would have the stress on don't and meat. I don't eat meat.
Let's practice that. The stress is important here to make your meaning clear. I don't eat meat. Oh, that sounds good, but I don't eat meat. Are there any other options?
Oh, for sure. I think Sarah's got some veggie burgers. Let's go check it out. My treat.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And one last little tip. The phrase kind of you is another one that gets squished. Kind of becomes kinda. And of you can become of ya. So it sounds like that's very kind of ya. It's super fast and casual.
This is advanced, but let's try it for fun. Kinda ya. That's very kinda ya. How did you do? Were you able to repeat the lines? Even if it felt awkward, you were doing the most important work. You were training your mouth to move in new ways. You were training your ear to hear the subtle music of real, casual conversation.
The point of that exercise wasn't to make you feel bad about making mistakes. The learner version was perfectly understandable. The point is to show you the small, subtle shifts that take your English from correct to natural. It's the difference between building with individual bricks and building with smooth, flowing concrete.
Exactly. It's about the linking, the reductions, the slang, the rhythm, all the things that happen between the words. And the only way to master it is to practice. Don't just study it, speak it. Talk to yourself in the car. Shadow a character from a TV show. Record yourself on your phone and listen back.
Be a detective and a performer at the same time. Listen for these features when you hear native speakers, and then be brave and try to perform them yourself. It won't be perfect at first. You might mix up a gonna and a wanna. You might forget to flap a T. It doesn't matter. Every time you try, you're building that muscle memory.
You are learning the song, note by note. And soon, without even thinking about it, you'll be playing the music of American English beautifully. We have covered so much ground today, from the hard R to the flap T, from sentence stress to party slang. But if you walk away with only one thing, let it be this: a new way of listening. When you listen to an American speaker from now on, don't just hear the words. Hear the music. Hear the rhythm of the stressed words and the quickness of the unstressed ones. Hear the way words crash into each other and become new sounds. Hear the melody of their questions rising and their statements falling.
Because learning an accent isn't about changing who you are. It's about learning a new form of music so that your voice, your ideas, and your personality can be heard more clearly than ever before. It's about removing the barrier of what did they say so you can get to the magic of what do they mean and how do they feel. True connection happens when the mechanics of language disappear and all that's left is two people sharing a moment. The confidence you gain from being understood is a superpower. It allows you to stop translating in your head and start living in the moment. So go out there and try it right now, today. Pick a phrase you learned, a lot of people, kinda hungry, what's up, and just whisper it to yourself. Feel the rhythm. Feel the movement in your mouth. That feeling is the beginning of fluency. That feeling is the sound of you speaking English with confidence.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Go ahead and share your favorite American word or phrase in the comments below. We'd love to see what you've learned. Keep listening every single day. You've got this. If this way of learning feels right to you, I warmly encourage you to make our podcast a small part of your daily routine. Though it's hard for us to keep making video like this daily because we value quality over quantity. But we promise we'll do better.